Rain, also known as a black woman's nightmare. Also known as a curly-haired, kinky-haired woman's nightmare. That is, if your hair is not already natural. But even still, no one enjoys having rained on hair to the point that you've got to wash and dry that stuff again. However, I love it. So I'm here at Walgreens. I just picked up a few items. Well, really one item. And I'm heading to the house. But as I was driving home, I turned the recorder on my phone, as I sometimes do. And it was really cathartic. It helps me to be able to talk out loud. And, you know, often I'm talking to God. Sometimes I'm just talking to myself. At times it's like a combination, I guess. But anyway, so I was talking out loud as I was driving. And I had a few epiphanies. One declaration I made out loud to myself and to anyone who could have possibly heard me is that I'm a boring person. And I'm bored. And I'm bored and I'm boring because it's all my fault. I wondered, well, am I hardwired to be boring? Am I hardwired to be bored? Am I hardwired to be what I always say, so vanilla? You know, meaning that everything is just cut and dried. Even the tones in my voice. I have to really work hard to have, you know, variety when I speak. I can do it when I sing. But when I speak, it's a whole other thing. Sometimes I'm almost like Eeyore. And my voice just the tone starts dipping down. Sometimes I find myself saying the same things repeatedly. I find myself making the same complaints repeatedly. And I realized that the difference between me and some of the people that I admire in my personal life, as well as people in pop culture, is that they're just as driven as I am. I'm just as driven as they are. But the people that I admire act, and they act more frequently than I do, and they act with more gusto. They tend to have 100% stellar time management skills. My time management skills are pretty good, but they're only like 90, you know, if you were giving out a numerical grade. Whereas these people I admire at 100. They have a plan and they execute that plan, and then they plan again and they execute that plan. If things don't go to plan, according to plan, they have a plan B. They're able to come up sporadically with something new because they had in their mind, okay, if this doesn't work, I have this, this, and this. My tendency is I tend to go where all sofa softies go and think and reflect. It's not that I'm not doing anything when I do have moments of being a sofa softie. It's that I'm too pensive. I need to be more rather than think more, if that makes sense. I think a bit too much, and by the time I figure some things out, it's either too late or it's so late that I'm trying to play catch up in my life. And this is sort of happening in my day job all of a sudden, and I don't like it. This has been happening for a while in different areas of my life, and I don't like that. I don't want to say that I'm a late bloomer. I'm not. And I'm not really a slow learner. I learn fairly quickly. It's just I internalize what I learn rather than act on it right away, which is a horrible way to have a quality life. Like the two don't really go together fully. So there are people having much more fun in their lives, much more achievement and accomplishment in their lives than I am, because they move, you know, whereas I tend to lay back in the cut and think about, okay, this is what I see, this is how it worked for him. Well, you know, if this is the way it worked for him, why did it work this way for him? Okay, this didn't work for him, why didn't it work for him? Well, I wonder, if it didn't work for him, does that also mean it's not going to work for me and Sally and Joe? And how is it not, you know, like I drill too deeply down in the details rather than just let things be. I think I also tend to be boring because I let things like lack get in the way. Lack of skill, or lack of money, lack of time, lack of whatever. I allow that to get in my way and use those things as excuses rather than just do. I've noticed it a lot more as I've gotten older, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I really have to push myself. Take the drive that I have in here, and rather than make that drive go all the way up in here and kind of stay dormant for a little bit, I need to push that drive out in my limbs. I need to make the drive and the passion I have for various things and activities and interests and so forth work to my advantage, rather than to just sit back and think on these things for like months or a year or two. It's counterproductive. So now that I've figured all of that out, I need to act, reinvent, create, be the art. It's that simple.